So you're a real estate investor in Collin County, Texas, and maybe you're even managing that property from a distance. You own a seriously high-value asset, but, protecting and growing that asset, well, it all comes down to the quality of the partner you have on the ground. The difference between just okay management and truly exceptional management isn't some small thing. It is everything. Okay, let's really dive into this because this is the fundamental question, isn't it? How do you make sure your investment is actually performing, that its value is being preserved, and that your returns are being truly maximized when you're hundreds or maybe even thousands of miles away? And look, these fears, they are 100% valid. Why? Because every single one of them is a direct financial risk. You worry that you don't really get the tiny micro markets inside Collin County. You're worried about your property just sitting empty, bleeding cash every single day. You can't just swing by to check on things. And maybe the biggest fear of all, handing the keys to someone who sees your property as just another address on their list, not the cornerstone of your portfolio. So the answer to calming these fears isn't just finding a slightly more responsive agent. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think about it. It's moving from just hiring a leasing agent to partnering with a true asset manager. And believe me, for a serious investor, there is a world of difference between those two.
Now, this slide is where it really clicks. A traditional agent, they're focused on the transaction. Fill a vacancy, collect a fee. Boom, their job is done. But an asset manager, their number one goal is protecting the asset itself because they think like an owner. They're not just thinking about this month's rent. They are locked into a long-term strategic partnership that's all about building the value of your entire portfolio.
And this isn't just some theory we cooked up. This is direct feedback from an investor who actually felt the difference. That feeling of having a strategic partner watching over your investment, that's the result of a very deliberate, very disciplined approach. That is what changes the game. So what does this asset manager approach actually look like in the real world? It's not just a fancy title. It's a whole methodology. It's a professional process that stands on two very distinct pillars: a strategy that is built entirely on data, and a system for proactive, relentless asset protection. All right, let's talk about that first pillar. This is all about replacing vague opinions and guesswork with cold, hard numbers. For an investor who can't be on the ground, verifiable data isn't just helpful, it is the bedrock of a professional relationship. It's everything. What this really means is that every single recommendation, from which city you should buy in to the exact rent you should set, is backed up by comprehensive market reports and real verifiable MLS data. It's the difference between hearing, "Oh yeah, Frisco is a good market," and seeing a detailed report that shows you precisely why it's the right market for your specific financial goals. And this table right here, it just illustrates perfectly how that data becomes your most powerful tool. If your goal is immediate cash flow, the data points you towards cities like Princeton or Anna. But if you're playing the long game for appreciation, well, the numbers show exactly why Prosper and Frisco are the strategic move. This is how you build trust with an out-of-state investor. You don't just give advice, you prove the why behind it. Okay, let's move to that second pillar, proactive asset protection. So data gets you into the right property. This pillar, this is what lets you sleep at night once you own it. It's about taking care of that home with the mindset of an owner, not just a manager, to protect its value for the long haul. And that peace of mind, it doesn't come from magic. It comes from a clear, repeatable system. It starts with elevated marketing to attract the best of the best tenants, followed by screening that goes way deeper than just a credit score. But the crucial steps for you, the owner, are the proactive inspections and those detailed video and print reports that basically put you right inside your property, no matter where in the world you are. So here's the bottom line. Complete transparency can't just be a buzzword. It has to be a deliverable. It means a full video walkthrough of your property landing in your inbox. It means a detailed report that flags a tiny leak before it becomes a massive renovation. It means you are never, ever left wondering about the condition of one of your most valuable assets. Okay, so when you combine a strategy that's grounded in hard data with a system built for absolute transparency, what's the final impression from a serious investor's point of view? Let's bring this all home. The verdict is that you have a partner who is undeniably competent and super market savvy, someone who is data grounded and frankly obsessed with the details. The service feels asset protective, almost luxury caliber. They're strategic, not salesy, and all of that rolls up into the single most important quality an out-of-state investor needs. They are fundamentally trustworthy. Which, leads us to the bottom line question. After seeing the methodology, the data, and the absolute commitment to protecting the asset, would a serious investor actually choose this kind of partner for their Collin County portfolio? The answer couldn't be clearer. Yes, without a moment's hesitation, because this entire approach is engineered to solve every single core fear of an out-of-state investor. It replaces that market uncertainty with hard data. It eliminates the fear of the unknown with video evidence, and it transforms the huge risk of a bad manager into the absolute confidence of a genuine asset management partnership. So this really just leaves one final question for you to think about for your own portfolio. Is your property manager acting like a salesperson, just focused on the next commission check? Or are they a true long-term partner, strategically protecting and growing your asset for years to come? The difference doesn't just impact your returns, it defines the entire future of your investment.